Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Semester 2 Review, Unit 5A. Remember, this is no calculator. Show all your work and write your final answers on the line. We're going to zoom in, and once again, just like yesterday, we're only going to worry about the odds. Okay? So the first one says to solve by graphing. And remember, when we are graphing, we want it to look like y equals, oh my gosh, that pen is really big. Let's get a smaller one. So y equals mx plus b. Neither of those graphs are like that, so we're going to have to change them. There are our two equations. We got the 5x plus 9y equals negative 63, and negative 4x plus 9y equals 18. So, to graph them, we need to get the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract the 5x to both sides. We get 9y equals negative 5x minus 63. Divide everything by 9. And we get y equals negative 5 over 9x minus 7. Okay? So we need to note that the slope is negative 5 over 9, and our y-intercept is 0, negative 7. So I'm actually going to graph that first. I start at negative 7. Now I would go down 5, 1, 2, 3, up, and it would be somewhere around here. But since I can't do that, let's do the exact opposite. So instead of going down and to the right, I'm going to go up 5 and to the left. And then that's our line. Remember to make it nice and straight. Okay? Now our other line, we need to do the same thing. We need to get the y by itself. So we're going to add 4x to both sides, and we get 9y equals 4x plus 18. Divide everything by 9, and we get y equals 4 over 9x plus 2, where our slope is a positive 4 over 9, and our y-intercept is 0, 2. Okay, so starting at 0, 2, I'm going to go up 4, right 9, and then I'm going to go down 4, left 9, and then right away we find out where they meet. Draw your line, and our solution is the point negative 2. You're not negative 2, Mr. Grace, come on. Negative 9, negative 2. Okay. Solve by substitution. What we're doing is we're looking to see a variable that's by itself, and then that's where we're going to plug it in. Okay? So we have 4x, whoops, minus 2 equals 8. And everything that was in the yellow, that's what we're plugging in. Okay? Now this is our check because we should only have x's here. Okay? And now we solve. So go ahead and distribute. We get 4x minus 4x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. We're going to combine our like terms, and when we combine those, 4x and negative 4x, those cancel out. And we're left with 8 equals 8, which is a true statement, which means our answer is infinite solutions. Okay, number 5. Same thing. We're going to find our variable that's by itself, and that's where we're plugging in the information. Okay? So we have negative 2 minus 2y equals 2. And that's where we plug in 8 minus 4y. distribute. Negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8y minus 2y equals 2. Combine your like terms. We get positive 6y equals 2. You have to add the 16 to the other side. And we get 6y equals 18. We're not done yet because y is not by itself. And we get y equals 3. And don't be like, yo, Mr. Grice, I got it. It's 3. Well, congratulations, but we want to know where they meet. Okay, so you're only telling me part of the puzzle. All right, the rest of the puzzle is we got to figure out what x is. Okay, so x equals 8. 4 times 3 is 12. So x equals negative 4. Okay, you got to find out both parts, the x and the y. Okay, now we're doing elimination. When you do elimination, you want to make sure that all of your information lines up. And now, what do we want to cancel, the x's or the y's? Well, we're looking for opposites. Those are opposites. So we can multiply the top, and I want to get the same number, so I'm going to multiply by 2. Okay? And when we multiply that by 2, 2 times 2 is positive 4x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4y. And 2 times negative 24 is negative 48. Okay, when you combine those cancel. Be careful here because you get negative 5y equals negative 40. Be very careful about your signs. Okay, divide by negative 5, and we get y equals positive 8. Okay, and now you have to plug that into one of the original equations to figure out what x is. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do that by yourself. Good luck. Okay, and there's all of your work. Solve by elimination. I want to see if you guys can do this one. Remember, you want to get either your x's or your y's to cancel. I think it's pretty easy if you get the x's to cancel. Just make sure that when you multiply every single thing, and you want these to be opposite symbols. Okay? So there's enough hints. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so I already rewrote the bottom or the top equation, and you can tell that those are the exact same. Okay? Now to work on the bottom, a negative times a negative is a positive 8x. Negative times a negative is a positive 18y. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Okay? So now, the next step, well, both of those cancel, and we're left with 0 on the left and negative 8 on the other side. Now, is that a true or a false statement? A false statement. So our answer for this is no solution, or you can write the really cool symbol. Okay? All right, number 11. Marco scored 17 more points than Alex in the last basketball game. Determine how many points each person scored if the sum of their points is 37. So each one of these is an equation. Okay? Now, they're talking about Marcos and Alex. So Marcos scored 17 more than Alex. Well, more than means to add, but it also means that I have to switch the order. So right here, that's our equal sign. Okay? So Marcos he scored 17 more than Alex, so we had to switch those two. Now, determine how many points each person scored, so they each scored 17 points, and their sum, that's where the plus comes, is the equal 37, okay? Now, if you look at it, the m is all by itself, and that's where we're going to plug it in, okay? So, we're going to leave it like this, and I want to see if you guys can solve an a substitution problem all on your own. So go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so when you plug those two in, you combine your like terms, the two a's. 2a plus 17 equals 37. You subtract 17, divide by 2, and we get that Alex equals 10 points. Now, the only thing is we want to know both their points. So, you just take Marcos equals 10 plus 17. So Marcos equals 27. And then there's your answer. All right. Last one. Jacob's school is selling tickets to a play. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold. Let's see, on the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 7 senior citizen tickets and 2 children tickets for $64. The school made a total of $97 on the second day by selling 7 senior citizen tickets and 5 child tickets. Now, one of the things I would do right away is write down what your X is and what your Y is, okay? That way you're not getting any of these things confused. Okay, another keyword is total, because that's going to tell you what it equals. So now that we've done that, the yellow one is our first one. We learned that 7x plus 2y is 64. Okay, and now in the blue, once again, we have 7x, this time plus 5y equals 97. And now, if you look to see how everything is nice and lined up, that sets us up for elimination, okay? And we can eliminate the x's. We just need them to be opposites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top one by -1, okay? Negative 7x minus 2y equals -64, okay? I no longer worry about that equation, and now we just go through and solve, okay? So pause the video, see if you can go ahead and solve the rest of this on your own. Okay, just to double check, you should have gotten y equals 11. Okay, and now what you can do now is you can pick either original equation to solve. Find out what x is. I'm going to go back to the first one just because that one has smaller numbers. Okay, so 2 times 11 is 22. Subtract the 22 to both sides. 7x equals 42. Divide by 7, and we get a grand total of x is 6. So the very last thing is saying is, well, how much does everything cost? Okay, well, the senior x, we'll start with x, which was the senior citizens. So the seniors, $6, and the children's ticket was 11. Okay, well, that's going to be it for Algebra 2 Semester 2 review, Unit 5A. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, good luck with finishing the rest of the review. Thanks for watching.